Teach to Teach Radio. Teach to Teach Radio. Education for all, for all, for all. Education for all, for all.
Welcome to Teach Radio program. Today we are going to discuss community action to support schools. With me to do the discussion are
I'm Yakubu Suevatu from Warbo Akuku Ahmadiyya Primary.
Mr. Abdullah Solihu, Kanduri EA Primary School.
I'm Affair Elizabeth, Holy Rosary Primary School, Sankpala.
And I'm Zublim Hadi, a teacher from Warbo Akuku Ahmadiyya Primary School.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are most welcome.
Thank you.
What do you think the communities can do to support schools for improved learning outcomes?
The community, because they have been able to understand the school system well, sometimes provide the school with learning materials. They provide them with low-cost learning materials. Some of these learning resources, you don't need much money to acquire them. So some of them, the community can help in acquiring those low-cost learning materials to support the schools. In my school, for example, that was last term. The SMC chairman and the PTA chairman, they came to the school with a lot of bottle tops, and they gave it to us to support the children whenever we are doing mass, which will help them in counting.
Great. Yes, any other?
Sometimes the HR can leave from the house and not will not be in school. So with the constant visit to the schools makes the children attend school regularly.
Good. Any other?
I had a typical example in my class. The SMC chairman of my school had his son in my class. So the opening week, the opening week, the child didn't come to school. So it was on the last day of the week, which was Friday, that the father came. So, and the child was not in school. So he asked me and I told him that for the whole of this week, the guy has not come to school. So he was saying, like how? Because every day he would dress up in a uniform and leave the house. So how come did I say it's not? So I even used the register. I showed the register to him to show that the guy is not in school. So it was the next week, Monday. So he came with the boy. And I asked the boy, and the boy really told the father that actually he didn't come to school for that whole week.
Yes, do you have anything?
School infrastructure is one way the community can support the school growth. I'll use my former school as an example. We used to sit under trees, but with the help of the community members who came together, had some few trees deep into went into the forest to get some trees, cut them down, they themselves molding blocks to put up structure, and then we finally moved from being under the tree into a structure.
In our school, what excites me most is the use of the co-curricular activities that they come to perform. They have extracurricular performances in our school. I could remember that one day they came and gathered us and tell us that they want to give us the learning materials, and they also want to engage the people outside how to use the materials. They did that because we were having a non-governmental organization which came and trained all of us how to coexist. So they did that. When they come, anytime at all, they will come and teach the children using the materials they make themselves. And it helped a lot. They engage us a lot.
In my former school too, we used to have what we call play day. And with the play day, it comes twice every term. So with the play day, the community members will come out in addition to the staff plus the students, and they will come out and play. So they will be teaching them some of these local games So through that, we even learned many of the songs that they were teaching them, and we use them in our classrooms as starters.
That's good.
That reminds me, in relation to the infrastructure,
More examples.
our PTA, they collaborate with the MP. They give the MP pressure till he give us the block. I'm quite sure Anita, when Anita came around, he saw a block that we painted yellow, and that was the effort of our PTA and the SMCs.
Very good.
So they engage a lot.
Teach to Teach Radio. Teach to Teach Radio. Education for all. For all. For all. Education for all. For all.
So I think we've had so many examples. All these that you have mentioned, how did the community members do such a thing? Do they regularly meet to discuss these things, or they just wait as the situation may demand? Then they come out and do these contributions.
Sometimes the strategies that they use is like these PTA and XMC. So whenever they have PTA and XMC meetings, after the meeting, some of the parents do go around the classrooms, and sometimes the SMC and the PTA chairman normally ask the head teacher some of the problems that the school is facing. So when this one is given out to them, they themselves will now go and have their own meeting to find out how they can support the school to eradicate or minimize that problem. So some of the ways that they normally do it is through PTA and XMC meetings.
Do you have other ways by which they, apart from having a regular meeting, to take decisions?
In
on
our
how
school,
to
what they have
support the
sometimes
school?
they have their own meetings besides us meeting the PTA. And what they usually do is that they have their secretary. So when they deliberate with the issues, then the secretary will put it down. Then the secretary will come to the school, lay with the staff. So then they will tell us what they are going to do. And after that, then they will come with the solution.
Yeah, apart
That is
from
how-
holding a meeting to decide on such a thing, what other strategy will they use? Yes, Elizabeth
I would say, sir, apart from what they have mentioned,
mentioned.
sometimes it comes impromptu, but sometimes they sit to think about certain issues they have observed before coming up with suggestions. Like the example I gave with my former school, it wasn't actually the PTA or the SMC that did the building for the children. It was actually the youth who sat and I think reasoned up and saw that where their younger ones were sitting to learn wasn't conducive. So they had to think of something. And I think that's why they did that, and then they had a better place for the children to learn.
What other strategies would they or do they use?
After maybe the PTA and the SMC has sat to discuss their own things, then they give each child an amount to pay.
They come up with
Then
levies.
they collect everything together. They put up a solution to a problem that they
for the
think the
school.
school needs.
Some of us, I don't know, in our schools or in our communities, because of what is going on in Ghana, that they say free SHS, many of our parents think that you are not supposed to pay for anything. So sometimes when you talk of contribution, they normally frown at it. So in our communities or in our schools, some of our schools, contribution there, you cannot talk about them. So because of that, some of them, they don't even know that at their own level, they can come together and raise funds for the schools, because already they fear contribution. So because of that, they don't even think of that. They don't even think of that.
So if they don't contribute, I don't think it will bring our development. They have to. All right. So do students in particular participate in such decision making when the committee decide to support the school in one way or the other?
Sometimes, like my brother said in their school, my sister rather, that they help in getting a classroom for them instead of them sitting under a tree. Sometimes the children, they can make the children maybe to be carrying blocks or water, fetching water for them to do their moldings. So in that, they are the children to are supporting.
Yeah, they also participate.
In my school, during the holidays, we floor 2 of the classrooms. So when we were about to do, or when we were doing the flooring, it was the children, the students who came around and fetched water for us. They did it with their parents. Some of the parents and some of the students. So they do it with the parents. They provide us with water to floor the classroom. And another, there is something I also want to add. If I did not do that, if my community members are listening, they will not forgive me. They had an initiative which they brought up in my school. Like one of the parents visited and he realized that there were rubbish all over, rubbers and all those things. So I don't know whether he went and discussed with other colleagues, but they came out with something fantastic. They provide us with dash base, not the big ones that we have in the market. They improvise one. They use what we call jerrycans, and they cut it in a way that it has a handle on top, and they have a place where they can put the rubbers and papers inside. So that one was a very fantastic initiative, and I have to share with other parents or schools which are listening.
In my school, how they interact with the students or how they lead them on to their meetings is they usually take the school leaders, like our SPs, GPs, and those. But when they have meetings, they inculcate them and ask them how they think. That is how they usually engage with the students.
Teach to Teach Radio. Teach to Teach Radio. Education for all, for all, for all. Education for all, for all.
You mentioned co-curricular activities. How do the community members engage themselves in order to support the school?
In my school, I was given an example earlier on. So the parents advocate for time. So, and that time we give them was twice in a term, and it normally falls on Fridays. So parents will come and engage the children in play, and we call those days play day. So all the children were aware of the days, and when the parents come, they do engage them in the local place. And some of them are purposeful play, not just play. They learned from them. Example, like a play that you have them using stones to be passing through their fronts, and they'll be singing along it. That one, it teaches them about it.
What is the name of that play?
In Dagbana, we call it Kuraya Kuraya. Yes, so they'll be passing the stones this way, and it will be moving around. So when they are doing that, it makes them to pay attention and think very well. Because if you are not fast, or if you do not think critically, you might hit a friend's hand, or a friend might hit you. So it normally develop their thinking and creativity skills.
Yeah, or the stones will pile up in front of you.
Yeah, and when they
All right. So Teach to Teach International is encouraging reading clubs in our schools. In a co-curricular activity of that sort, what role will the parents play?
Actually, in our community, there are more illiterates. In terms of reading, they will not be able to help in that aspect. But what they usually do is that they will come. It's only the songs then play maybe sports, games, dancing. That's the aspect they usually take. And what they do is that they take them out. That is the only thing they...
Is that what happens in your school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though they use 1, 2, 3 and those things, but very minimal.
Aladi, your question has reminded me of something which I nearly forgot.
Mm-hmm.
In our community, there is something of that sort. They picked some of their community members, and they were 2, so which are school dropouts. So they went and train them as and they organize what we call supplementary reading, which normally comes after schools, and it was on Tuesday and Thursday. So these 2 will come and engage the children after school. So they'll read for an hour before they'll move back into their various homes.
What do you have to tell the community members? What do you have to tell them to, or in a way, encouraging them to continue to support the schools?
Calling for PTA meetings is part of the school's activities. Sometimes when you call them, they don't want to come because they are busy and they claim that the timing is always wrong. So I will entreat all the community members to always come for PTA meetings, because that is where we sit and we discuss the development of the children they have brought to us to teach.
Yeah, and Aladi, I will also encourage parents by telling them that the schools are for them and not for the teachers or the government. And the children that are in the school are their children. So, and for that matter, all that they can to support the school to ensure that there is quality teaching and learning in the schools, they must do it.
And to me too, I am pleading to all parents that to find time to always visit the schools to see how their children are learning.
What I would encourage them to do is that they should try to be given the materials, the learning materials, that is low cost ones that they usually use. It helps a lot in our various schools. Say they should hammer on that and try to do more.
Thank you very much for coming and the inputs that you have given.
Thank you, Aladi.
Teach to Teach Radio. Teach to Teach Radio.
Hi, this is Wiyala. I support Teach to Teach because education changes lives, especially for girls. So let's take advantage of the positive impact education can have on our lives, our communities, and our people.
Teach to Teach is produced by Teach to Teach International in collaboration with the Center for Literacy and Vocational Studies, Ronin Africa, and Radio Savannah. You can find Teach to Teach International and Teach to Teach Radio on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook.